Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry, and just want to take a couple minutes to say a few things here, and to just talk a little bit about carpet cleaning. And there's been some changes going on in the VLM field of carpet cleaning, and what's happening is that more and more people are beginning to realize the advantages of using the low moisture process for lots of reasons, and a lot of guys are using the either rotary or OP machines, which are using different types of pads. And about 6 years ago or so, I came up with an acronym that I've been mentioning quite a few times in my videos over the years, and if you're watching my videos, you've seen me or heard me mention it, and you see the logo that's on my top of my machine, which is the SETT logo, Soil Extraction Transfer Technology. And the reason I came up with this logo is that I realized that as this methodology has changed a little bit over the years since I began 28 years ago, the old way of describing it as bonnet cleaning just really doesn't quite fit, and nor is it descriptive of exactly what it is that we're doing with these pad machines. And whether you're using an OP or a rotary machine, if you're using pads to transfer the soil up and out of the carpet, you're doing soil extraction. And so that's where the acronym came from. It's Soil Extraction Transfer Technology that we're using. And I think it's a good way to describe this, because bonnet cleaning per se has actually been around for a long time, but the way that it was done in the past, initially it was done with janitors just taking a modified mop, putting it into their mop bucket and squeezing out the excess solution with whatever they were cleaning with, the floor, I guess, and then throwing the mop onto the floor underneath the rotary machine and spinning it across the carpet, and then lifting it up when it got dirty and putting it in the mop bucket and squeezing out the excess water and some of the dirt and putting the the mop back on, or bonnet back on the carpet, and away they go. And there was a lot of very bad carpet cleaning being done that way, and that's where bonnet cleaning really got its bad reputation, was people just not well, it's all they knew how to do, so fair enough. But things have changed, and 28 years ago when I started Oxy-Dry, I really felt at the time that I had this rotary machine, a Clark FM13, floor model 13, I guess they call it, and I realized that, you know what, I really felt that there was a real potential with the rotary that wasn't being hadn't really been discovered yet. And I was aware of the fact that at the time, Chem-Dry, which uses they use the thick loopy bonnet underneath their machine, and they were at the time, I don't know if they still are, but they were at the time the largest carpet cleaning franchise in the world. And there's something to be said about that, that they had a very clear and simple vision, and of course they had their carbonation marketing ploy, which was kind of bogus, but nevertheless it still worked. Anyway, and I realized that the rotary really does have a great deal more potential than what people are seeing in it, and so I started off on a journey 28 years ago to really push the envelope as much as I could using the rotary, and that was before the OP machines were even on the horizon, I guess, because it was quite a few years later before I even heard of OP machines, and it took a while before they became well known. I think it was before 2010 that they started to become available, I guess. And people started talking about them more and more. And of course, I guess John Gurkink with Trinity really he really did have a great influence on getting the OP into people's vocabulary, and on the he really did have a real impact on the industry. I'll give him that for sure. But anyway, the Rotary, I've always been pushing the Rotary, and primarily I do use OP machines, and I have nothing against them at all. I just prefer the Rotary for lots of reasons, and I've talked about that before in other videos. I don't need to talk about it again. But whether you choose to use, a little Rotary machine, or maybe an Oric, or a Challenger, or a Vibe, or a bigger Rotary machine, or a Trinity, or whatever it is you clean with, it doesn't really matter, because any of those machines will clean, and clean well. Well, some better than others, I guess. And some are more efficient than others. But anyway, if you're maybe wanting to get into the industry, there are a number of guys that are putting out videos talking about using low moisture process and using SETT method, which is soil extraction transfer technology, the acronym that I came up with, and I have been giving this out. I've been pushing using the SETT acronym for a while, and I've been giving a PDF of the logo out to anybody who asks, pretty much, and because I think it's a good way to help the whole industry, and I'm pretty focused on those who are using the transfer method, as opposed to the SETT method the SETT does not apply to somebody who say they're using a CRB machine or even a Simex, for example, because it's not drawing soil up and out of the carpet. So SETT only applies to a machine that's using a pad, whether you're using it on carpet or hard floor or even furniture. Actually, I just did a couch and a love seat a few minutes ago, and I used my SETT method on that, and it worked great. But anyway, one thing I wanted to say is that there are a number of guys that are putting out videos that are focused on either using Rotary or OP machines primarily, and you can learn from these guys. We don't agree on everything, the way we do things, and one guy does it a slightly different way than another guy, and that's fine. So the guys that I would tell you to keep your eye on if you are wanting to watch these kind of videos would be, obviously, you're watching my video, which is Oxy-Dry, the Oxy-Dry channel, but also Paul at Washington Pro Carpet Cleaning. He's got a great video. He was originally a steam cleaner and segued over to low moisture, and he has both OP and Rotary, and he mostly is using his Rotary now, I guess, because he's finding it works great. And sometimes he uses an Oric, and sometimes he uses a Swirly, and he has a bigger Rotary, and he has a Vibe as well. And but he really likes the Rotary, because he's realized, he's watched my videos, he's learned from me, and I've been interacting with him, and I've learned things from him, and he's learned things from me. And then there's BM Carpet Cleaning. He uses both OP and Rotary, and he does hard floors more than I do, for sure. So he's a good guy to watch. He does carpet as well. Sometimes he uses an OP machine, and sometimes he uses an Oric, and sometimes he uses a Rotary. And either way, they all work. We all know what the strengths and weaknesses are of each machine, and I'm not going to go into a great big huge house with an Oric, but then again, I will take my Oric and use it in a really small place. It has its place. And then there's who's another guy that does quite a few videos. There's Corey at Carpet Muscle TV, and someone else I was thinking of. Did I say Green Rhino? Although he does steam cleaning as well, but he does OP and he does Rotary, I guess Washington Pro and Carpet Muscle. There's another one. Who's the other one? I can't remember now. Anyway, there's a few guys out there that are producing or putting out videos talking about carpet cleaning. But one thing I'll tell you that you should always do if you're new in this business, one guy's going to say don't use this, and the other guy's going to say to use that. Whatever you choose to use as far as chemistry goes, do your own due diligence. Look up what the health rating is of any product that you're going to use, no matter where you get it from, whether you get it from a carpet store or you get it from Home Depot. I'm sitting in the parking lot at Home Depot right now. Or the grocery store. Be sure you know what you're cleaning with, so that when your customer says, what are you cleaning with, you can give an answer. In my business, I primarily focus on high-end residential, and for the people that I deal with, what I clean with is actually one of the questions we're often asked, so I'm able to give them a clear and concise answer about what I'm cleaning with, and I can tell them, go, here's the website if you want to go take a look at the, or the SDS sheet. And I had a lady who had sugar gliders in her house. Sugar glider is a little marsupial pet. She had three of them, I think, or something, and she was very concerned because they're very sensitive to chemistry. So she wanted to know what I was going to clean her carpet with, and I told her. So she went and looked it up. She was very happy with what she found, and I went and cleaned her carpet, no problem. And if you're doing only or mostly empty move-outs, and working for property management companies or something like that, and all the houses you're doing are pretty much empty all the time, maybe it's not a big deal to you, but bear in mind that you are going to be exposing yourself to these things too, day in and day out. So just know what you're dealing with is what I'm saying. Don't use things in ignorance. Educate yourself so that you know what you're doing. But anyway, so there are guys out there that are putting out videos, but just remember, because somebody puts out a video, or they go onto a Facebook group or whatever, and they're talking about how I've been carpet cleaning for a long time. One of the ways to determine whether or not the person is a real legitimate carpet cleaner is find out what they're operating under, business name, and see if they have a website, and if they have reviews. Most of us guys pretty much all of us guys who are doing this as a full-time business, that this is our livelihood all day long. We are doing this in a professional manner. We have we will have websites, and you'll find reviews about what we do, and we have a business license. We're not taking stuff on cash under the table. We're paying our taxes, and we're doing this as a full-time business, and so you're going to get, from somebody who's doing this in a professional manner, we're going to be caring more about what we're doing than somebody who's just doing it, part-time, doing a handful of jobs here and there, and then going on social media and talking as if they're some kind of an expert or whatever, when they really, they're not even doing it as a full-time professional. That's how they earn their living. But anyway, so if you're new in the business, and you're wanting to learn from people who are doing this all day, every day, and we're putting out our videos because we want to help you, and we're not hiding what we're doing. We're sharing what we're doing, and we're wanting to make it easier for new guys coming into the business. I'm in my mid-60s now, and I won't be doing this a whole lot longer. So one of the reasons I decided to do this was so that I could teach other guys how to do this and earn a living at it. So that's my hope, is that I will, I guess you could say, leave a legacy of, guys, 20 years from now. Hey, you remember that guy? I'll be in the grave. Maybe. You never know. But anyway, and it's one of the neat things that's happened is in the last few months, a number of us guys have actually, we decided that we're going to start to be more helpful to one another. We're going to share more information with one another. We're interacting with one another behind the scenes, not necessarily on our channels directly, but we're asking each other questions and sharing information with one another. We want to make this SETT carpet cleaning a real legitimate, professional grade way of doing things, and we can see the future, and it is this, because there's going to be, with all the green agenda, there's going to be some real challenges that those who are operating using both truck mounts and portables are going to have to address. With the increase in fuel costs, and then they'll start carbon taxing the guys using the truck mounts. That's coming. Already in California, they are outlawing gas-powered landscaping equipment. And it was a few years ago. I think it was a school district in New York State. They outlawed using hot water. You couldn't even clean a carpet with hot water. Imagine that. I think it's ridiculous, but the writing's on the wall. So educate yourself, understand what's happening, and us guys who are putting out these videos on a regular basis, we're doing this for the benefit of the new guys, and some of the old guys are watching and have some interesting things to say. I've had some interesting comments from guys that have retired on my videos sometimes. It's really been quite interesting to hear from some of you old guys. I do appreciate you guys that come on, especially you guys that have been around for a lot of years, and maybe you've used some of those old old Von Schrader guys and Chemistractor guys, and what's that other one, the Fomotron, remember that one? Anyway, I'll let you go. So anyway, hopefully that what I said made sense and was helpful and food for thought. And anyway, thanks for watching, and have a good day.